How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Box to Box. I hope everyone is all good and all well out there. We're coming off the back of a 1-0 away win, a hard-fought away win against Bodo Glimt in the Europa League. But it's back to business in the Premier League. We're currently top of the table, so we need a win to keep us there. Manchester City, obviously, away to Liverpool. They're just behind us, as well as Tottenham, who are quietly still picking up points without the performances. This Sunday, Leeds away, and I thought I'd bring to the show Joe. What are you telling me, Joe? All good?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. I can't lie. Like, I'm not looking forward to this game. I'm not going to lie to you. The form that you're in, the record that you have against us, it's actually, I think you've had a hat-trick of 4-1 wins at Ellen Road. So it's like, yeah, it's not looking great at the minute for us. I can't lie.
Yeah, I must have missed that one because I did do a little bit. Oh, yeah, we've had a few. 4-2. It was a couple years ago.
Okay.
4-2. Oh, last year 4-2. Cool. But yeah, there's been goals in it, to say the least. There's been goals. But talk to me, Joe, man, because obviously the last time me and you really even spoke or talked about Leeds was probably when Bielsa was still in charge. A lot's changed since then. I can't lie, outside looking in. I don't know much about Leeds, but what I do know is Bielsa and Leeds were quite tight knit, to say the least.
He's still the guy, man. He's still my guy.
There you go. There you go. So off the back of his, departure, I thought it'd probably all unravel. I thought it wouldn't look good for you at the end of last season. But Jesse Marsch has come in and seemingly done his thing, albeit the last 5 games, Premier League games, you haven't picked up a win since beating Chelsea 3-0. And I remember that result. You've lost 3 away games. You've drawn 2 home games. Talk to me, Joel, man. What's going on after a bright start to the season?
Yeah, it was a bright start, mate. I can't lie. And when we beat Chelsea 3-0, I mean, we have a bit of a rivalry with Chelsea as well that dates back. So that was a huge win and almost the coming of age of Jesse, if you like, and really started to swing fan opinion in his way, because like you say, a lot of us were still cut up about Bielsa. He had that much of an effect on Leeds United fans. But since then, it's not been great. I question him tactically. Personally, I think he has at the minute one way to play. It's 100 mile an hour, 100% of the time. And what I found of late is the slightest tactical tweaks by the opposition manager, and he can be undone. And he doesn't seem to have an answer. Take Palace at the weekend. We were all over him for 25 minutes. Patrick Vieira makes a switch at half-time. We didn't get a shot off in the second half and we were beat 2-1. So it's difficult because not only that, even when we were doing well, for me, the football's not great. And as we were lucky enough to have Bielsa, in a way, I said this is like ruined football for me in a way because I like to enjoy the beautiful game more than I ever did. And now when I'm seeing some of the stuff that we're playing, I just want someone to get their foot on it and spray it about, use the wings, but we're so narrow, we're so tight that it's like we don't want possession of the ball. We play a counter press. So it's like, let the other team have the ball. So it's really difficult to watch at times. The one thing I will say is, much like Chelsea tried to impose their game. We were able to catch them out. I don't expect us to do that against Arsenal because Arsenal are like different gravy right now. But I do believe it will make for a better game because Arsenal aren't going to come and look at Leeds and say, right, what do we need to do to counteract them? It'll be, we're going to play our game. You know what I mean? So that will mean we might catch you. But it's like even defensively, I look at it and think, well, we're not going to catch Saliba on the fly. We won't catch Ben White out. I doubt we'll catch Tomiyasu out or whoever plays at left back. The one chink in the armour, maybe Gabriel. Maybe. But yeah, I'm not confident, mate, looking ahead to the weekend. I can't lie.
Yeah, well, listen, without a win in 5 games, it is some run and it bodes well for us. But at the same time, I think the way you've described Jesse Marsch, his approach and what he's doing, again, outside looking in, because I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I watch Leeds 90 minutes week in, week out. A lot of it seems similar to how Bielsa's time ended. Obviously, Bielsa's held in high regard because he's done big things for the club in a style of in a way that, like you said, it's changed your perspective on football. But how similar is it to the end of Bielsa's reign?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going well at the minute, and I do worry that I've said we've got so many big games coming up that we need to start picking up points, especially when you consider like the World Cups around the corner. I, for one, think we will be all right, and the way we started the season, I'm like, yeah, give me mid-table obscurity any day of the week, especially after surviving on the last day. It was madness, but again, at the minute, like I say, I just don't see what the plan is Turkish at times. If plan A doesn't work, then what we're going to do. And I think it's really easy to play against. Like you said, as much as it pains me to sometimes have a go at Bielsa, he became very easy to play against towards the end. You know, you let your centre-back maraud up with the ball. Because of the man-marking system, they'll come and meet him and then they're just open, you know. And I feel that at the minute with Leeds, if you break that initial press, i.e. get it over into the channels, then you've beaten us. And I look at Saka, I look at Martinelli, and I think, you know, if they just get it into Xhaka Party or whatever straight over the top, you know, it could be open season. And that's me as a fan. Listen, I don't know an awful lot. You know what? You know what I mean? You're coming up against tactically astute managers.
Yeah.
Like, I love Jesse for the way that he speaks, and I can see from his press conferences, it's like, you are a leader of men. You do know how to boost their confidence. You know, it's a very American thing, like, you know, how their coaches are. But when it comes to like tactical nous, I question it. And that's just my opinion currently. I know I am seeing there being a little shift actually within the fan base, but people just say it's because I hate him because he took over Bielsa, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, someone who, to be honest with you, similarly, when he came into his job, he spoke very well, and it resonated very well with me as a fan. Mikel Arteta talked about connecting the fan base back to the club, amongst so much more that. Looking at it now, he's done a lot of. Obviously, there's still more room for improvement, and hopefully Champions League football, and we move forward and start challenging and winning the big titles again. But you know, so much has changed in the last 18 to 24 months. And like I said, Joe, we haven't spoken in a good while. Mikel Arteta, he rode that initial pressure. He rode the wave, like you described, Jesse, in maybe a leader of men type of way.
Yeah.
Arteta's similar in the way he spoke and led the team, made big decisions that even me at times questioned.
Yeah.
But looking at it now, what do you make of Arsenal, our start to the season, and so on, being top of the table?
Yeah, amazing, mate. I don't mind Arsenal. I do really like them, and that comes from when I was younger, and the Pires, the Henry, the Petit, all them guys. I do like watching them, and I like Wenger. I hate Man United, so when you were having that tussle, it was like, I'll back Arsenal in this. But do you know what? I was always an Arteta fan. Like, I didn't mind him. It's quite funny. What did Grizz say? I'm the ginger Grizz, something along those lines. I take it as a compliment. But no, I am a fan of Arteta, and I'm actually quite happy to see him turn it around. Apart from him playing the "You'll Never Walk Alone" thing, I actually enjoyed him in the Prime thing as well.
I agree.
Yeah, he came across really well, and for me, as I was watching it, I was thinking, I would run through brick walls for this guy. You know, that kind of vibe. And I think you're seeing that now. And I think the fact that he's got young, impressionable footballers, as much as, I'm a massive Ben White fan, obviously. But when I was seeing all that hate, I love it now, because I've got plenty of tweets where I was backing him and people were mocking him. And I'm like, eat your words now. And it's even the Ramsdale signing, bro. Like, Bielsa was keen on Ramsdale. He could see something in him. And I think, you know, you got mocked for that. And to see that now come to fruition and you being, you know, for me, challenging, really. I don't think you're going to win the league. I think we all know that. Like, but you are the closest to City. I said a couple of weeks back, for me, you are the best team to watch currently. Because City, for me, sometimes this might sound mad, but they dominate that much that it can get a bit boring, like to watch, like left to right. Whereas yourselves at the minute, for me, you're the best, like aesthetically pleasing team to watch, and I like the players within the squad. You even seen a turnaround in Xhaka, which is mad.
Massive,
which is
yeah.
mad. Yeah.
It is mad. It is mad to say the least. Obviously, Joe, you're a big fan of the Big Six. You're always there. So you've seen how in the last 2 years my mood has come sort of full circle. I'm actually happy now. I'm actually, I can stick my chest out a bit more. I know it's only 9 games into the season, but it's been so long since we started a season like this that I can only enjoy it, and long may it continue. The target is still top 4. Get it comfortably, close the gap to the top. I'm not even expecting a title challenge this season, but if it happens, it happens. I just want to wait and see. You mentioned the big players and so on. Jesus, obviously our top scorer this season, Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, they played a key part too in terms of goals, assists, and so on. Xhaka, even him, he's already having his best season productivity-wise with goals and assists. Off the top of my head, that is, but I'm pretty sure it is. On your side, losing Phillips in the summer, massive loss. But Rodrigo seems to have started the season pretty well in terms of goal scoring. But I don't know, you shake your head there. Is there more to that story?
Yeah, so much more. For me, like, I drop him at the weekend. This is the thing. Yeah, serious. Like, he goes missing far too much. And I understand, like, fans that don't watch Leeds United and don't know the goings on with Rodrigo. He did start with hot form, but it's like we've seen these stints before, and he drops off the edge of a cliff. The main man for me, stylistically, has to be Bamford because he brings others into play. We need someone to occupy the centre-backs. Otherwise, we can't make the ball stick and we're all over the shop. Rodrigo, unfortunately, doesn't have that. And when he plays him just behind the striker, he goes missing. And it's just a move that's never really worked. He started the season hot form, buzzing, and all the Leeds fans are like saying, yeah. But now he's gone quiet again. I think from a Leeds United perspective, the big one's Sinistera. Really, really, really good signing. He was suspended for the last game, but he's the one for me that if we're going to create anything in this game or create a moment of magic, he's almost our new Rafinha, if you like. We maybe can become too reliant on him in the small games that he's played, but he would be the one to watch out for. From a Leeds United perspective, I think Cine, because I think Rodrigo might get dropped,
Yeah. Any chance of them both playing, though?
I think, for me, I think he'll play Aronson, so the American, new American signing. I think he'll play him in the 10.
He scored against Chelsea, isn't it?
Brendan Aronson, he went all over, what's his face, Mendy. And I expect him to do something similar to Ramsdale, because sometimes Ramsdale can be a bit shaky with the ball at his feet at times. So I expect that. I do expect him to be on it. I do rate Aronson. Brendan Aronson's a top player. I don't think he'll be at Leeds United for long, if I'm honest. But that's where we are as a football club, I think, a little bit like the Leicester model. But I think it will be Aronson behind Bamford and then Harrison and Sinistera either side. But again, they play more as like, not even inverted wingers. They're more as like right cam and a left cam, so we play so narrow,
So you mentioned Sinistera first. So I'm assuming one of the key battles for you is him and whoever starts at left back, because it was a shock Tomiyasu started against Liverpool, but in the end, look how it worked out. Salah had his quietest game possibly against Arsenal, got subbed off about an hour in. Tomiyasu done very well. Tierney's still about. Everyone expected him to start. Everyone still loves him. And you have Zinchenko as well, who was out of the last one. Hopefully he's back. I'm not too sure. Haven't had a chance to check, but we'll see. We have options there, but would that be the main source of joy for you in terms of you're the home team, whether taking a point or 3 points from it? Is that the key for you, Sinistera against our left back?
Yeah, I mean, the mad thing is a lot of our attacks come down the left-hand side, so I think he'll play Sinistera from the left and maybe Harrison from the right, and we do lose something from Harrison out on the right. But I think a lot of it's due to the fact that our right back, Rasmus Christensen, he's not. You'll have seen Ayling play a couple of times now. Ayling likes to get forward. Obviously, used to be at Arsenal, to be fair. He likes to get forward, whereas Christensen, the first game he played against Wolves, Pedro Neto, turned him. And then ever since then, it's like he's got a fear of leaving the halfway line. And a lot of it comes down the left. Now, whether or not that's a tactical choice, But it just makes it so easy to defend, because it's like, oh, well, if they're only going to come down the left, then easy, we'll sort that out. So I think it'll be more so on Ben White's side that we'll see attacks. But listen,
he's been solid. He's been solid himself.
Yeah,
you mentioned Ramsdale. He's another one that even I looked at Ramsdale and Ben White and I thought, what's this guy doing? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Now, like you said, there's a lot of Arsenal fans that we've had to eat our words, and long may that continue as well. Because
remember the Varane chat and all that? Varane, Kanate, all them guys. Ben White's been the best.
He's turned to a right back this season as well, which shows a bit of, which is good, because even at centre back last season with Gabriel, it wasn't a great defensive season, but it was definitely an improvement on the ones we had previously. But so you're looking at the wings for Dre. In terms of nullifying Arsenal's threats, you've mentioned a few of them already. I've mentioned a few more. Who do you think, if there's one player you need to keep quiet tomorrow to get anything out of the game, or who are you looking at?
For me, it's Martinelli. For me, he's been one of the standout players in the Premier League. I know Jesus is amazing, but for me, just because I know that our system is very, very weak out wide. Like it's the areas that opposition teams like to target. Again, as I mentioned, Rasmus Christensen, of the new signings, he's been the most shakiest. I think back to the previous two fixtures, Martinelli gave Ayling that much of a torrid time that he two-footed him and got himself sent off. Before that, when we played the kids, when the COVID thing, Cody Drama made his debut, again got pulled off at half-time because Martinelli just tortured him. So I know how good he is, and the fact that Rasmus is still adjusting. I will say, in the last game against Zaha, he had his best game so far since being at Leeds. So that gives me confidence. But again, I mean, Martinelli's another level up from Zaha. So I'm worried about him. But then again, Saka had a slow start to the season, but his numbers are going mad. So it's like that front three. And then even if them, you've got odd. I can't even. Do you know what I mean? So it's going to be tough. Tyler Adams in the DM, though, for me, has been my best player. A new signing. He's really good at the press. I mean, he can cover ground like you wouldn't believe. Like a lot of players in the middle of the park think they have more time on the ball, but he's so quick at covering ground that he does do that really well. So from a defensive standpoint, he's got to do well up against the likes of Partey and Xhaka. But I mean, our issue this season has been defensively, and we're coming up against one of the most potent attacks. So yeah, I'm worried, bro.
Worried. Well, that leads us into prediction time, Joe. As the home team, over to you.
I mean, the best we can hope for is a draw, if I'm being totally honest. I do think you'll win the game, though. I'm not going to sit here and like 2-1. I think we'll get a goal. Maybe I'll take. Will I take a 2-1? No, I won't. I want us to get a point, obviously, and free. But I just can't see it at the minute. And Arsenal are flying, so.
Yeah, I went 2-1 on Big Six. I'm going to stick to 2-1. Even though after this conversation with you, I'm a bit more optimistic. Maybe I should have gone with my 3-1 usual, but no, I went 2-0 on Big Six. Yeah, and I'm going to stick with 2-0. Sorry. I think we can get a clean sheet out of it. If I'm honest with you, I think we can defensively. Yes, we've had mistakes this season, and you mentioned Gabriel earlier, and he was behind a couple of them. But I think it's just waiting to kind of all click. In terms of consistency, clean sheets, rid of mistakes. There is massive improvements again from last season, but I'm going to go 2-0, keep it 2-0. But like I said, after this conversation, I'm thinking maybe there's more goals in it, but we'll see. Let me not get ahead of myself, Joe. Let me not even jinx it. Before we leave people, Joe, let them know where they can find you, my bro.
Yeah, the Just Your Football show, heavily Leeds United content, but I do other Premier League content as well. I do a lot of watch-alongs, so I will be doing a watch-along for the game as well at the weekend. So if you're stuck for somewhere or you want to watch me crying, then just come on over to my channel. So yeah, Just Your Football show, and thanks for having me on Turkish.
No worries, Joe, man. Come on, it's going to happen again anyway, man. I'm going to tag the channel in the title, people. So all you have to do is just click the channel link there and subscribe. It won't even take you off the page. And before you do leave, make sure you hit the like button and give us your thoughts in the comment section below. Lineups, predictions, key battles, all of that as usual, people. And I'll respond to a couple of them as I go through.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.